Okay, people are starting to ask me about orphan trains. Now, hopefully you've been keeping up with me because some people are just watching that one video and they're not realizing that there's a whole list of videos behind that, you know what I'm saying? That to where I broke down to what got us to that point in that video. But right now people are asking me about orphan trains. Now remember I was saying that they had a campaign of trying to take over this place called America, and they had the American Indian Wars, which started in 1609 to 1924 on paper. Now, during the process of this war that was going on during the creation of the corporation that manipulates the United States or that manipulates this country, they were taking people and they were disenfranchising them, meaning that after the Civil War, they had black code laws and they had vagrancy laws. Now, a lot of times they were taking people and burning down their towns and burning down the records in their town. So if the person didn't have paperwork stating that that person had a place to live or had a job, that person would be hit with a vacancy law. They would take these people and they would take the parents and they would ship them down south to work in industries, but then they would take those children and they would separate the parents from the children. They would take those children and put them in the orphanages, and then those orphanages were reprogramming centers. So they were reprogramming certain people to play the role as Native American, play the role as so-called African American, play the role as the new Jewish, play the role as the new Italians. You know what I'm saying? They were being reprogrammed, but not only were they being reprogrammed, when they created the orphan train, they were taking a lot of those kids who were already reprogrammed and they were shipping them to parts of the Midwest because the new Midwest had industries up here and even parts of New York, but they had industries and factories up here. And this is before they had child labor act. So they were putting those kids to work up here in the north and reprogramming them to play the role that they wanted them to play and run the narrative. And they were taking the parents and they were working them down south in many different industries through the prison system. Now, when it comes to dealing with this thing that you call the Cabbage Patch Children, I don't really like talking about this here, and I'm not really going to go into this here. I let other people deal with this information because they dug into it more than me because I just don't like talking about it too much. This thing that you call the Cabbage Patch Children, they started This was like the second or third time that they started manufacturing. Um, no, not manufacturing. They started incubating children. It's the best way I can put it. They were incubating children and then they were selling children through the mail department. This is where your fable about the stork and children being delivered. These were the kids who were incubated, and they called them the Cabbage Patch Kids. But them and what you would call the children of the orphan trains, those are two different scenarios. But before I go, let me say this here. Now, some of the adults were sent to reprogramming centers. Those reprogram centers for the adults were known as insane asylums. Yeah, I know, man. This is a lot to take in, man, but it is what it is. Hey, this is your man, L. Judge, man. I hope you got something from that. I'm out. And again, watch my other videos so you can know how we got to this point right here.